What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike.
Got around to building it, trying it out yesterday, and I liked it a lot. This is an Esper Satoru deck with Aether Vial instead of the kind of the persist synergies you've played in the past. Still do like that persist deck. We trophied with it on a week from today, actually, a week ago. And I've also liking this version of Aether Vial and Soulherder. Soulherder card that we have played a lot of on this channel. We even got second place in a couple challenges with the card. And it's a card I don't think I've cast on stream since Bowmasters has been printed. The card is pretty bad against Orcish Bowmasters, but you have actually some protection in this deck. Like if you go Soulherder and they Bowmaster your Soulherder and use Solitude, you just like immediately grow and get out of range. Same thing with Ephemerate. You can play around it. But it's really nice in this deck to kind of have the 8 card advantage sources. This is something that I've been really liking, is just like the extra sources of card advantage, not only just leading so much on Satoru, but Soulherder also being something that can draw a card every turn. In the persist deck, like Stoneforge Mystic kind of serves that purpose too, to some extent, but Soulherder does it in a like much bigger way. I do think Stoneforge is like really, really key in this deck. It's a very different card here than it's been like since the printing of MKM. It's like before MKM, like what you're getting is like shitty swords, and you're getting like a Cauldra, pretty mediocre. But like both Assimilation Aegis and Cryptic Coat are so good in this kind of like Esper Flicker Shell. Stoneforge ends up playing so differently than it would have like previously. Aegis specifically also has been like really overperforming. I actually like copied an Archon of Cruelty with it yesterday. Like the copy mode on Aegis is actually really, really nice. It's something I'm starting to learn, and it pitches to Subtlety and Solitude, which is awesome. Another thing too is Cryptic Coat. Of course, when it enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card with Satoru because you're not casting the Cloak token, and then flickering your Cloak cards is also really, really good thing to do. And so Cryptic Coat ends up being really nice. I really like to play 2 so that you can pitch 1 copy to Subtlety. That's something that has been continued to be really nice. One card that may also surprise you to see is Skyclave Apparition, another card that had its day in the sun and hasn't been shining for a while, but I think it's actually pretty good at the moment. I was definitely liking it yesterday. It's a nice tool against like Yogg and Titan and the Leyline Scion decks, and a lot of the Affinity Shells coming up, and to some extent too, like it is important for this deck to be able to control the board, and Skyclave Apparition in combination with Flickering, it is kind of the best way to do that. And I was actually really happy with Skyclave yesterday. I even have the 4th copy of the board right now. I'm not sure if I necessarily want to keep it, but I have the 4th in the board at the moment. 2 Tidebinders made 2 side is also kind of a nice formula. I played against Tron last night. Tron matchup seemed pretty hard, so I ended up adding some Break the Ices that I didn't have last night. Another thing about Skyclave is that Skyclave always gets a lot better when you play Wall of Omens in your deck, because like if you have a Wall of Omens in play and they kill your Skyclave, there's a good chance that your Wall of Omens is just going to be able to block the token, which kind of turns Skyclave into a more pure 2-for-1, if that makes sense, where like they kill it and they get a token, but that token just is basically blank because there's a wall to block it. I also really like that Satoru kind of functions like extra copies of Wall of Omens. Like in the past, we've played like Bant Soulherder with Wall of Omens and Wall of Blossoms, because you really want to be able to go wall into Soulherder. But if you Soulherder your Satoru, you still get to draw a card every turn, which is really nice. And if you have a wall and a Soulherder Satoru, then you get to draw 2 cards every turn. Satoru goes crazy in the deck, just like gets triggered by Coat, Stoneforge for Coat, Soulherder, Subtlety, Solitude, Ephemerate, Aether Vial. Just like the whole deck is like Satoru's just like a 20 out of 10 in this deck. Paying the mill tax still. Also, Burn seems to be on the uptick. So like Dawnbringer Cleric is I think a really good sideboard card of the deck, where I don't think you want to be playing Lorenz if you can, because you have like Skyclave to kind of fulfill a similar role of like 3 mana exile a thing. I think you're also kind of just a little bit congested in the 3 mana slot. And so Dawnbringer Cleric being 2 mana answer to Urza Saga, killing Dryad, I think is really, really nice. It's also Graveyard Hate that you can Violin or Ephemerate at instant speed, which is somewhat relevant too. And the life gain, I think, is at the moment part of my plan against Burn, which I haven't really been having like sideboard plans against Burn for a long time, but I've played against it enough recently to like I am now starting to think about Burn and more so Prowess, but Burn and Prowess in my sideboards. Prowess is going to be a better matchup though, because we just have a lot of removal. I also have my Magic Online God account now. We have a 1 land Aether Vial keep with a Satoru. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, kind of obvious. I got it. I ended up changing the name. I'm kind of curious. I think we may see a significant drop off in 30-second to 1 minute startup time for our opponents here to join us. Expansion Explosion with the 27 months. Thank you so much. That's a long time. So it looks like we're up against an affinity variant here. Oh, let me disable the animations. I feel like animations should be disabled as a default. Expansion Explosion, thank you for the 27 months. Appreciate you. Morning Spec, first time trying to sleep with your feeding stick tonight. Wonder if I'm silly for topping a temporal trespass in it. Did you consider Ancient Grudge in the board since you're splashing green? I tend to like Pick Your Poison over Ancient Grudge because it's just a little bit more versatile. Like it can answer Leyline of the Void and Rest in Peace. Those are two cards that, of course, I'm pretty interested in having answers to. Ancient Grudge is fine too. Temporal Trespass is also okay. I have never played it in the deck. It could be secretly, one copy could be secretly pretty good. Maybe not so secretly. Look at the number 60 months. Appreciate you. Share the 15. Appreciate you. Good morning, everybody. What's this? We buy this file 2 or 3? 2 or 3. Like there'll be. So I think a lot of times you want to take it up to 3, and a lot of times you want to leave it at 2. It's not strict one way or the other. I think. Can they not activate their Saga next turn? They can at the moment. Okay, double Frogmite. Nice. Okay, so let's tick up the vial. Interesting. So I'll draw a card off Satoru here. Now I've got some options. I think I should probably just go play my second vial, tap to Watery Grave, and then plan to block with Wall of Omens and Ephemerate the Wall of Omens, which is effectively a draw 4 here. Can you fix the Moto chat? Yeah, so I have to resize everything. But also, what's wrong with it? Oh, it's just not there. It is there now. Yeah, we may see a higher concentration of salt now that I have a different account I'm using. Which is always welcome. Okay, so they're needling my Aether Vials, but I could Skyclave to get rid of the needle. We'll need to find a Solitude at some point to clean this up. Ooh, is their last card a land to haste their construct? It's not, thankfully. Okay, so let's do 1 mana draw 4. Better than Ancestral Recall. Yeah, Skyclave tough bad against Urza Saga, of course. So we're going to take up both of these vials. Draw the rest of our 4 cards. I guess we're going to draw for turn also, of course. Just a Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, I'm going to Skyclave the Needle. Hold up Ephemerate, and likely go like chump block a construct, block and Ephemerate the other one. Could upkeep Vial, Skyclave response to rebound. Can't because there's a needle on Aether Vial. But if there wasn't a needle on Aether Vial, yes. We could have if it was a legal play. We also, I guess, we could Ephemerate the Skyclave here and then go after, like, the Boots, maybe. The Boots is not really that scary, I guess. Maybe if they, like, put a Boots on a Frogmite and get in with the Frogmite. That is what they do. Okay, what's this? Nettle Cyst. Guess we could exile that with the Skyclave on the rebound, potentially. Oh, not attacking with the Frogmite. Okay, then I think... Yeah, I think that I'm going to prioritize keeping the Skyclave, get rid of this Nettle Cyst. Although it's kind of not super clear that this is correct, because we kind of just need to find a Solitude. So getting like all these extra looks at it seems maybe more relevant. Could Ephemerate the Stoneforge. I think I'm going to go for Ephemerate on the Skyclave instead. Gonna go after the boots. Oh, I guess it was better to go after the boots first, huh? If this was the plan, because then they would have a smaller token here. I'm going to take this vial up to 4, because we have the Subtlety in our hand. And then we are getting pretty flooded. Just, like every deck, of course. Another Ephemerate's good news. So I can Aegis a construct, or I can cast Cryptic Coat, trigger Satoru with the ability to like high roll something off the coat. I feel like that this should probably be the play, since I could just jump block with the coat token. I don't really need to definitely deal with something here. All right, pass back. "25 cards deep, no Solitudes." Hopefully a Solitude shows up eventually. Wow, sitting with everything. Okay, so let's go to Violin, a Subtlety. Start blocking some stuff. Block here. Block a 1/1, block a 2/2. I think I'm going to Ephemerate my Stoneforge Mystic. And then I can go, in response to the rebound, I can put Cryptic Coat into play off of Stoneforge Mystic, and then potentially flicker whatever it is we hit there. Could also Violin the Wall of Omens and draw 2. Surely I'll find a Solitude at some point. I'm even going to just have faith here, and I'm going to end up ticking up this Aether Vial up to 4. So let me stack this Ephemerate Rebound last. So let's tick this up here. Then it's Violin, Wall of Omens, draw 2. We are currently 28 cards deep without drawing a Solitude. We're currently 30 cards deep without drawing a Solitude. We get 2 more looks here. One from the Coat Cloak, because we could just Ephemerate that. It's an Ephemerate. And then here's Stoneforge. So 32 cards deep. Let's go ahead and just look 2 more. We also have our draw step for turn. Okay, there it is. That was easy. And the Soulherder. Oh, sorry. I should have played the Soulherder first, because then I would get a counter, actually. Looks like I drew another Solitude. Okay, that was easy. That was easy. Sorry, I gotta keep resizing everything. Be nice if you could import your Magic Online settings. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in the Dawnbringer Clerics as my answer to Urza Saga. I think I'm gonna bring in the 4th Skyclave. Tidebinder is usually pretty good against them too. I don't think Fatal Push is very good. I think Subtlety's pretty bad. I think I might cut the 4th Stoneforge in the 2nd Coat also. It's the thing I've been doing sometimes. Yeah, don't like push very much. If you could play more than 4 Ephemerate in this deck, would you play? I mean, it would just change how you built it, but 8 at least. Why the new account? So this is the content creator god account stuff. I am mostly just trying it out. I haven't used it before, so giving it a go. And I think I also kind of want to see, do opponents play faster? Do we have fewer opponents who take like 30 seconds to a minute to take a game action? Because ever since I started streaming, I've had a much higher concentration of opponents who just take 30 seconds to a minute to like decide that they're on the play, you know. Um so I just kind of want to get a vibe for what it's like. Also, like I'm thinking that like I could probably take this account into a tournament, and I think that we would just get ghosted a lot less. Any idyllic range consideration? Not in this mana base, but I do love idyllic range. Okay, so my opponent is Mull to 4 as affinity, which is usually pretty bad. Oh, they're playing the border post build. Awesome. Let's go. That'll work until people figure it out. Yeah, of course. Of course. We'll have to improvise and adapt. I gain 2 life. Totally, totally defeat your board state. Yeah, I was thinking about just having an overlay that said Aspiring Spike here, but then it's just kind of too much to cover up because it's also here and here. But maybe just covering this would be enough. But I'm kind of thinking that it's like the real fans who will like know what the new account name is, and these are the people I can trust more to not go straight. Yep, tough mold to 4 opponent. Undefeated on this account. So, Inspiring Timmy comes from a friend of mine who I don't know. He just it's like I don't know how he started calling it, but he said you could also be a conspiring Johnny for the Johnny archetype. Pretty sure next ransom. Okay, that's awesome. Then I will. I'm playing. It's actually local for me. The RC. Okay, I'm pretty sure I want to Stoneforge this turn and set up to maybe draw a land and have Satoru with Ephemerate up. Is the record tracker broken? Oh, it's not broken. It's just like linked to my other account. So let me see if I can get it updated. Username equals DB underscore. There we go. Cool. So probably playing against Jund Creativity. That deck has been pretty popular lately. Actually lost to that deck playing this deck last night. And then didn't add really any more sideboard hit. Takes my Satoru. Not hate a land. Take what we can get. I'm gonna get the Aegis here. I actually was able to Aegis copy an Archon and then attack with it yesterday. It was really cool. So my opponent is down 2 bolts. They have a third 1-mana removal spell. Looks like it. Just fetch and then pass. It's pretty weird. Okay, I pass back to you, opponent. Recently you played a counterbalance deck, is still a thing, or has it been pushed out by better option decks? I don't know. Like, I don't think the deck was incredible. It wasn't like one of the best decks ever played. We trophied with it, and it seemed fine. But also like I didn't feel like there was a ton more room for exploration besides maybe testing the enhanced surveillance stuff a little bit more. You know, and I mostly just like sometimes end up getting to a point where I feel like a deck idea is about as solved as it's going to be. I just intend to move on. So they plot a Pillage the Bog. No! Ugh. Sorry, I'm playing on new account. I didn't have my stop set. Casual time walk myself. Let's use account for anything or just concert related stuff. Yeah, you can play in challenges and stuff, but we also like we can't cash out of this account, so it's just for the content. Alright, instep stops are now set. So if this is a land, I'm going to feel so bad. Okay, so it's Satoru. Because then we would have drawn a land for turn, because we would have plotted the Soulherder. Do you have access to all the cards? Yeah, with like some like secret layer exceptions. Not sure what this is. Scout required tickets during events. It comes with some play points, and once they're out, they're out. I think they like get refreshed every month. I have to figure out how to do the giveaways. I may not do them today, but I have some giveaway codes for play points too. Okay, but I was watching Dingo yesterday, and he was doing giveaways, and I'm like, what the heck? How do you do that? And then he told me to check my email. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that going today. So I think I can go giveaway. So let's go. So we should give away Timmy. So I also should have been rated, I think. I thought I saw one more okay to clip. Okay, so it's started. Okay. Oh, we're super cooked this game is what it is. What's being given? Play points. This is a test giveaway, by the way. So I'm not sure exactly how it works. I think what I just do is I just whisper whoever wins the code for the thing. I think also it has to be all lowercase. I'm not sure. Okay, bolt, push. Dossies. What a graveyard. So no extra prize. There should be a prize. I just don't know how to like tell who won. I'm testing. If we can figure out who won this, then I'll do it. But it's going really fast, and I'm not sure how to tell. It's me. I won. Yeah. How do we tell who won? I need to type like giveaway stuff. Okay. Okay, this is crazy. Wait, they really didn't find a creativity? I think I have to concede if I don't draw a white source to Skyclave the Red. And the winner is Helox Ogiers. Okay, we did draw a white source. Sure. Only took us like 7 turns to draw a land. I don't know how. I guess I'm sure they found the fable off the Pillage of the Bog here. Kind of wild that they bricked this hard. Okay, so Halaxo Gears. I'm gonna try to whisper you a code. Can I whisper from here? Okay, you can read it. There's gotta be a better way to do this, but I've messaged you a code for play points. Wait, 2 winners? I don't know why there were 2 winners. I would never give to the second one. I'm like, why? Okay, whatever. Oh, name is dumb. I'll give you one too. I've since saying I would never do it, I've reflected on my actions and the words I've said that I've heard people. Does anybody else want free play points? Okay, you can hardcast an Archon here too. We're all winners today, huh? So if they hardcast Archon, I could maybe like Aegis, then Solitude Ephemerate. Does it cost me anything to get points? They sent me five codes to give away. I've given away 2 of the 5 now. So I wanted to try to save them for like times where we have opponents who are really in the tank, but now we only have 3 left. So it'll take us, it only lasts us 1 day. Okay. Down a game against creativity. Yesterday I cut the Skyclaves. I brought in the Tidebinders. And then Dawnbringer Cleric is kind of interesting, where the Graveyard Hate is good against like this build, which plays Persists. I feel like I should just play Hearses instead. And the Subtleties are also pretty bad. You can play like 2. Also Killing Fable's not so bad, but it ain't so good either. Don't think I want any subtleties. They won Skyclave. Skyclave is pretty bad. It does kill Ren. Surveil land, you better find me land number 3. I'll tell you what. Skyclaves for Ren and Fable. Tidebinder just kind of answers both these cards better, and well, I guess maybe not the Fable so much. But we also have the 2-drop, the Cleric to kill Fable. Maybe I should just play the 3rd one. Because this card is also as good against their persists. I feel like I should probably just be having a couple more sideboard cards for this matchup. I don't know if you want Force of Negations or Orvars. Probably Force of Negations. Tap land, huh? Don't think I can be greedy enough to put that back. Let's go and get a Godless Shrine. Double white for like white spell plus Ephemerate's been pretty nice. We also have, 1 Skyclave left. So let's get Coat first, but Aegis has also been nice in this matchup. I put so much removal. So that's scary. Keep a land on top. No persist. Feels like a persist. Maybe they have Pillage the Bog and they are going to plot instead of casting. Which is usually good if you just have 1 extra mana, but maybe they would want to plot into a removal spell for Mystic. No, they have the persist. So I'm going to discard a Coat and a Tidebinder. And be super far behind. But if we can equip this Coat onto a creature, or this Aegis onto a creature, maybe onto our Cryptic Coat creature, because it's if we do that with Ward Up and then the Ephemerate to protect, that could be pretty nice. So obviously we need them to not have a strong follow-up here. Fable's a pretty strong follow-up, unfortunately. It also means that I have to block, lest I die to a lightning bolt. Probably just will have to die to a bolt. See what we cloak. I guess that could factor into. Opponent, do you have surgical extraction here? No way. How do you rate these gen versions versus traditional 5-color domain variants? I think that the Pillage the Bog makes Jund the best build. Pillage the Bog is really good. Wall of Omens. In some ways, this is a pretty awkward card to have found, because I won't be able to Ephemerate and then equip. I guess that's, a land would also have been the same. Or any non-creature. Discard a Ren and 6 and a Persist. My plan is to go for like this Aegis value. If they have another Lightning Bolt, I'm just gonna lose. I don't really see a good path to victory besides like getting this going. I still hate Persist making it a 3-card combo. Yeah, I think that the Pillage the Bogs make the Persist a lot better. Becomes a copy, so you can attack. No. All right. Maybe I should have Ephemerated and blocked then. Duh. I don't know why I was thinking I couldn't attack. Yeah. Probably do need a couple more sideboard cards for this matchup. I saw Null Drifter, I thought about it in your Heartless Boundless Surpass. Could you see it in this list in addition to Null Drifter? Well, Null Drifter is very awkward. It's like I think it's worse than Mole Drifter in these kind of decks because you can't ephemerate it for value. Like that's kind of the main reason. Like you play it in these decks and you can persist and ephemerate it for value. You can't in this deck. So I don't know. I think I'm putting back the Wall of Omens. Affinity again, second time this league. Just want to be able to like I can like Cryptic Coat or ephemerate the Cryptic Coat, you know, if my Stoneforge dies. Although having Solitude ephemerate in this matchup is nice. Is Deputy of Detention not good enough? It would be kind of nice against Urza Saga. We have Solitude for the Saga tokens, which like game 1 is usually enough. We also have these Dawnbringer Clerics. Deputy isn't like too good outside of those applications. Maybe it's okay against creativity, but I feel like if I'm going to sideboard a card for creativity, it's going to be something a little bit more powerful in the matchup. All right, Solitude triple Ephemerate against Affinity. I guess maybe we could lose to Synthesizer. Be kind of tough. Feels like maybe they have like a Frogmite and they're sandbagging stuff for Synthesizer. Every time I see Stoneforge Cryptic Coat, I want to add Synthesizer for value. Yeah, it's pretty slow. It would be cool to play Coat plus Synthesizer. Kind of regret not having them in the like the bigger build I played recently. Nettle Cyst is pretty good. Love to draw land. Okay, let's pass back. Kind of expecting my opponent to Saga token haste. Is their last card Metallic Rebuke? As it seemingly so often is. Remember, life totals are an illusion. Could maybe put Coat into play in response to the Ephemerate rebound. How dead am I if I do that though? Wait, they're just main phasing into the rebound? Okay, I guess I'm not doing that anymore. Are they doing this because they can like equip the boots to give ward? Okay. I guess. How high can we make our opponent's life total here? And will we draw a third land ever? We'll see. We do have plenty of Ephemerates at least. Could have maybe Ephemerated in response to this because of Aether Spellbomb. Scoop him up, 28 months. Thank you, welcome back. Land, question mark? Gross. Yeah, only ever 2 lands or 10. Never curve out on the channel. Dude, Saga Synthesizer is pretty gross here. One top, one bottom with the Synthesizer. So I think I'm going to go block with Stoneforge Mystic, then activate Stoneforge Mystic. Can Ephemerate this to get a, a land. So I'm going to attack with the Solitude, plan to block and Ephemerate the Delta here. I even surveilled. I kept a 2-lander surveilled. I don't know. Just every match you've ever played. Think we should ephemerate the land and play wall. Aegis next turn is hopefully enough. It won't be. I'm gonna go to game 2. Okay, subtlety's out again. I like this point of -1 Stoneforge -1 coat last time. Need Flicker Wisp ASAP. Wisp is a legal card for sure. Thanks again, scoop him up for the 28. Maybe we could cut the hearses because we have the Dawnbringer Clerics. So our sideboard plan for creativity would be like we want to cut the Skyclaves and the Subtleties. Then we can bring in like 3 clerics and 4 Force of Negations potentially. What would our blue card count look like? Plenty. The Force is also coming against Tron and a couple of other matchups. Keep this hand. I think I'm gonna get basic planes. Basic planes means I couldn't cast a Satoru if I drew it, but I guess I actually probably just better go Watery Grave because I can maybe go just surveil. But if we drew Satoru, we wouldn't cast it anyways because we would just want to vial it in. If Fusco just said Flash, would be modern playable. Yeah, almost definitely. Surgical is really nice against Gen Creativity. Don't tend to love to play Surgical in decks like this, like that have no discard effects. Like Surgical is way better if you have Thoughtseizes or Griefs in your deck, and I tend to not like Surgical that much anyways. Is Cauldron bad in these shells? Yeah, I think so. I think it's worse than the second code. It's worse than the Aegis. I don't want the 4th equipment. I've been doing this for a while, just no Cauldron in these Esper Satoru decks, and I have not been like, I wish I had Cauldron very often. I was playing in the sideboard of the Persist deck for a while. Maybe could still be in the sideboard of that deck, but yeah, I have not been longing for it. I'm gonna save this for Urza Saga. Well, if they had Saga, they likely would have already played it, but they'll draw it at some point. We need to be able to answer it. What deck would have to be dominating for you to like Surgical sideboard? Like the only card that only deck that Goryo's is like, or sorry, that Surgical is truly great against is Goryo's. Just like for any deck, you know. I can't think of a single other deck off the top of my head where it's just like, wait, why did they not attack? They still have Rebuke up if they did attack. Thinking about Bowmasters or something. Of course they have Rebuke up. I'm gonna play this so that I can surveil again. Just gonna play this into the Rebuke. Save 2. Yeah, the new dog is gonna be the new best flicker. Oh bro, 33 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, their own needle blindness. Yeah, I agree. Playing Rainbow Masters doesn't make sense. Just trying to figure it out. Maybe they just thought they could. I don't know. It's just the most telegraphed. Rebuke is so bad. It is so telegraphed every single time. And I also don't understand why do they just board? Do you just board it in every matchup? Because I feel like I don't think they main deck this card, but they just board it in against every opponent that has spells. It seems, which is so odd to me. Okay, 6/6 Nettle Cyst, 1 card left in their hand. I'm gonna go ahead and tick this up to 3 because if I draw Skyclave, I'll have really wanted it to be on 3. The Assassin's Creed set will be modern legal. I think Legacy legal too. Surely Legacy. I consulted on it. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Go fast game one after board. You want to stop hate? I guess. That might be the philosophy. Weapon craft enthusiast. I'll read the card. So give me a second. So if I exile a creature, my Soulherder is not big. Is a 4/4. So it's 3/3 right now. Yeah, let me just go after the drum, and then I can vial in the Skyclave in combat to make my Soulherder 5/5 to eat the companion. I think we leave this back to block 2. Just kind of happy to trade for the 3/3. Ooh, for more Evolved. Oh, sorry. For some reason I was thinking I would get 2 counters. Well, so many mistakes lately. Yeah, we'll take 4 life. That's okay. Or 4 damage. If we draw land, we can bounce Coat, replay Coat. A lot of good spells that are good top decks, just to land, so we have this mana sink, thankfully. Nice. One's got no cards in their hand. Yeah, we still could have blocked a Soulherder, but that's just, big punt. So I should have, not gone after the drum. I should have gone after the Midnight. Gonna save this for Urza Saga, I think forever. Although I kind of would expect my opponent to not play this game for too much longer. Okay, they're still playing. Have so many good hits off the Coat. Really like that part of this deck. Want to put an Aether Vial into play? I think we'll probably just flicker the Solitude. Soulherder gets pretty big. So Weaponcraft Enthusiast seems to be like a lot worse than Spectral Procession. It is kind of interesting that it has a 0 power creature. It's also 3 mana. It's not quite there, I think. Wait, they buffed Dawnbringer Cleric and the Alchemy to be a 1/4. So funny. Such an irrelevant buff. Yeah. I think they didn't want it to die to bolt for some reason, but yeah, I agree. Kind of weird. So for the draw, we got a Satoru. Hand maybe a little slow against Affinity here. So they shouldn't have Urza Saga in their hand. Usually if you have Drum and a 0, you play Saga turn 1. They have 2 cards left after this ferocious start. Well, good draw. Last time they had a Needle for it, though. And what matches the Subtlety Shrine? It's really the best against Titan, but I think it's pretty good in the metagame at the moment. Maybe not so good against the creativity decks that are popping up, but this deck just, in your Satoru deck that draws a ton of cards, just having the ability to pitch your opponent's plays is really nice. Okay, turn 2, Thought Monitor. 4 cards in their hand after this. They don't have a land. Okay, seemingly no land. I think I'm just going to get basic plains. Satoru's the only black card in my deck at the moment. I can just vial it in. And I'm not sure about the Aegis versus the Coat. Seems like I should probably get Aegis, since if I want to get Coat, I can just flicker the Stoneforge over 2 turns, and then I'll be able to go this turn, vial in Satoru, draw a card, and then use the Aegis if they have like cranial plating or something to buy a turn. Awesome, Kaigang. Glad you like in the stream. So opponent has at least 3 spells in their hand since... Oh wait, though, they did play land last turn. Never mind. Down to 16 life points. Seems that the Daybreak account is not necessarily helping speed up the gameplay here. Decide to play Synthesizer, which is usually the card you play before anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can play a Enforcer or Companion if they have it. Let's give them a couple minutes to resolve their Scry 2. One top, one bottom. Okay. Great. They must have had Metallic Rebuke. Because it was tough line there. Do I put 14 points of power in play, or do I hold that Metallic Rebuke? Always a tough call. Alright, let's pass back. Gonna put the Aegis into play here, I think. Where's the blue source to rebuke? Right here. Same blue source they used to cast the Synthesizer. They got 3 cards in their hand. I do sincerely think one of them is Metallic Rebuke. They decide to cast a Thought Cast, though. How crazy can the Synthesizer go? So I guess you can't turn stuff into tokens, huh? Notably, they do not have a blue source up here. Let's go ahead and tick up. Tick up, see what we draw. Tishana's Tidebinder. So I'm just kind of trying to think how important it is for me to be able to leave up Ephemerate here. Kind of dead to Cranial Plating or Nettle Cyst. No, sorry, not because I just have the Tidebinder. Yeah, so I think I'll just cast the Soulherder before they can have Rebuke up, and then I'll flicker the Stoneforge. Could attack with the Stoneforge, I guess. They don't have Rebuke mana. Yeah, they will on their turn, is what I'm saying, and I think it's likely in their hand. So what I'm doing is I'm debating between not playing around Rebuke and leaving up Ephemerate / Tidebinder by vialing in Soulherder, versus playing around Rebuke on their turn by leaving Aether Vial in 3 to put Tidebinder in on their turn. So we're going to stack the Stoneforge Resolve first so you can't accidentally draw the Coat off the Satoru trigger. There. For Pick Your Poison. For Artifact, I'm just going to sack the Aegis because it has no use anymore. It's actually a blank card, protecting me from Pick Your Poison. It's EGs or AGs. Alright, let's change the pronunciation, because both of those are dumb. I'm supposed to pronounce this AGs or EGs? I don't know. Pass. I am not going to. Sorry to whatever language of origin this is. Alright, so leave this one at 3, of course. Okay, leave this one at 3. Pick this up. Gain 2 life. Draw a card. Another Soulherder. I think I'm just gonna play another one of these, and then flicker both of them with the Soulherder and gain 6 more total life and draw 2 cards and get these Soulherders pretty big. They're gonna attack rebuke this, sure. Okay, so just can only gain 2 more life, but I guess that's gonna have to be okay. It's got 1 card in their hand. I don't have any more equipment to search, so I'm gonna attack with just the Satoru. I think there's a good chance I'm double blocking the Sojourner's Companion with both my Soulherders here. We'll see what we draw. We can also just find like a Solitude here. So gain 2 life, 2 counters on the Soulherders, draw a card. And the Tidebinder should keep me safe from an equipment, which is their main way to get me here. If I drew a Solitude right now, I guess I would Solitude Ephemerate. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for double block on the companion. There's the Fumori Vault. So I could have Tidebindered this. I think it's kind of nice to save because then maybe we'll be able to snag the Synthesizer. They discard the Saga, which makes sense because they can just flicker the Cleric and kill it. Although, I guess I don't understand how... I guess they must have had it when I already had this going. Okay, so yeah, we'll be able to now Tidebinder the Synthesizer. Draw a card. Alright, GG. Let's go after the Flyers, not that it really matters, but this companion is now going to be much smaller than my Soulherders. Look at that stack. Look at that stack. Okay, you may give up now, opponent. Do we need to evoke before attacks? I'm doing it because I'm showing my opponent they can never ever win. Is my reason for evoking before attacks is to show them that they are super dead and they cannot win this game. So I'm just ending it as soon as possible. Okay, let's go to 6 here. Keep this. Put back second Satoru or Solitude. I'm gonna put back this Solitude. Second Satoru seems nice. Shout out to second Satoru. Is it the best iteration of Search deck, or the Humans Norns better? Humans Norn builds. Oh, so sweet, beautiful. I think that the persist builds that are playing all 12 incarnations. So like before this, I really like that deck. Let's keep this. We trophied with that deck last Friday. Haven't played it since. May play it in the challenge this weekend. I think that this build is also good. I've been liking the Vials and I've been liking the Soulherders. This build is certainly different and getting our Ephemerate Ragaband, I guess. This build is certainly different, and I'm not saying that this build is better than that build, but it is maybe better. Just too early to say because we have like many reps with that version, and they could Ephemerate their Ragaband to just not have to dash it. Actually. Okay, so let's take our vial up. I'm gonna vial this end so I could try to draw land for Tidebinder. Nice. Do you feel like they have a removal spell? Oh, Jund. Do you have a lightning bolt opponent? Do you? They it seems like they do, and they also know that we have another Satoru in their hand, right? Maybe they're just trying to play Ragavan post combat. So they bolt the Tidebinder. Okay. So let's take up the vial to 3, I guess. Kill the Lily. Past you. Could be Heat. Yeah, it could be. I feel like Heat's not that common in Jund. You usually play Bolt and Push. I'm just gonna vial in the Skyclave here, draw a card. Have a blocker for Ragavan. Okay. So if I draw a white card, I'll probably evoke Solitude here. Oh, well, I guess not if that white card is a another Solitude. Since it's just an Inquisition. So the hand is Ragavan Mystery card. I'm probably just going to take the vial up to 4 next turn. And cast any of our 3s. So if I Soulherder Flicker Satoru, because I'm the active player, my opponent can kill the Soulherder with the Bowmaster. Oh, that's not true because I can just stack it to where the counter resolves before. Is the reason to not cast. I'm just making sure my Soulherder isn't just dying to the Bowmaster. But yeah, I can just stack it correctly and it should live. So I was thinking, of course, about, if that was the case, do we evoke Solitude first? This deck just gets to draw so many cards. It's awesome. The vials have definitely felt really good because you just draw so many cards that the vials just make so much mana. Would Inti not be better for buffing the the Ragavan over Bill? I think I'm going to take 6. There's not really anything they can hit off the Ragavan that matters. I don't have like any pushes or pendings or anything. I lost to Jund creativity. I think we're like our sideboard plan for that matchup is a little lacking. I lost to the matchup last night too. So they reveal a copy of Orcish Bowmaster, which is pretty good. Not gonna be good enough though. No Orvars. I feel like I want to play Force of Negation instead because it's just a much more versatile sideboard card. It's also very, very good against creativity, especially against their jukes. But it also helps the Tron matchup, which like we can cut the break the ices and we can add the Force of Negations instead. Wait, they just didn't cast the Bowmasters. I think they maybe thought that they could wait on it or something. That would make sense, I suppose. It didn't really matter because I would just been able to ephemerate the Solitude, like they were still going to be cooked, as it were. As it stands, they're like, an unwinnable position. Okay, so going to game 2 against Jund Inti. Let's bring a couple fatal pushes. I think I'm going to cut Soulherder number 4. Maybe go down one more. How is Tishana's Tidebinder against them? It's okay against Bowmaster. It's okay against Inti. They're going to be playing a lot of fetch lands. If they're playing Saga, which they might be, it's a bit better. Am I enjoying the God account? Trying to evaluate it, I guess. Yeah, it was good against Lily. It's just a bit worse on the draw is the thing. So maybe on the play, I'm going to cut another Subtlety for another Tidebinder on the draw. Maybe I want 3 Subtleties. Why do you use other accounts at the moment? Does MTGO have God accounts? I have a content creator God account, and I'm trying it out for the first time right now. I've never used it before, and I figured let's give it a go today. See how it feels. We get lots of nice arts. Monkey. I guess they can't cast that because they don't have blue or white mana. So there's something really nice about playing Grixis Shadows. You just have blue mana in the deck, so if you hit Teferi on turn 2, you can cast it. Thinking about just getting a basic plains. They could have Random Ass Blood Moon, and my Aether Vials will likely compensate for my lack of blue mana. Nice on Bowmasters. Would this be a Yorion deck if it was legal? I don't know. Aether Vial and Yorion's always kind of weird. But, you know, to some extent, Yorion, not legal. We don't need to worry about it. Why did you pick Aspiring Stimmy instead of Aspiring Spike for the clear count? I just thought it was kind of funny. Oof. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't play my second Aether Vial yet. Could have been a lot worse. Hopefully draw land off the Wall of Omens, but let's get the Wall of Omens down. Okay. So maybe a Lightning Bolt here. Shelly, well, we do have a Skyclave in our hand. What we don't have is land number 3 still. Nor our Aether Vial. So I wonder if I should block the Shieldred and then Ephemerate to dig for land number 3. I'm going to take a lot of damage to do so. We'll draw a freaking land, dude. We'll draw it, I believe. You've drawn 3 lands this league? Well, we got really flooded one game, and then every other game we're like 2 lands. No Aether Vial. We had the Aether Vial, but got pulsed. Works. Can play around Terminate by main phasing. Seems okay. They have the bolt, at least that's not going at my face, huh? Play around hand size also. I had 7, I wasn't going to discard. Interesting what they take here. Yeah, their list is interesting. Inti, Pulse, Shieldred. Seemingly no Urza Saga. Like, we haven't seen any Saga targets or Sagas or Gigantha. Gigantha, I guess they have Shieldred, so you could play that in Jund Saga. Takes the Soulherder. They're also playing Peatland, which, like, I think is a little bit less likely to be... Also have Sagas in the deck. Dude, Red and 6 return Peatland. I haven't seen that that in a while. Okay, I block your Ragavan. You're an 8, Solitude, Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, I thought I wasn't, but I believe you. So you got Subtlety up now. Stoneforge Mystic, secret blue card in the deck. I think regular Jund is probably better than Jund Saga at this point. I haven't really done almost any thinking about it lately. What would draw you to that conclusion? Probably taking Ephemerate. I could see them taking one of these two, maybe. Just so much Saga hate these days, and Saga's always been mid in the gen deck. Yeah, I think sure. It's been a while since I really thought about how to build a Jund. How times have changed. Okay, so goodbye, Rin and 6. We just concedes. Okay. All right, let's get a 4-1 prediction. We lost a Gen creativity, but deck's looking pretty good. I mean, I think that these Esper Satoru decks are very good. The right build is like kind of tough to figure out. I think we've explored the persist builds pretty far. I really like the version of persist that we have. And I think this build is also showing a lot of promise. Sunbear, 5 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They should take Skyclave to protect Rin. Yeah, it is very funny to like be able to take Skyclave, take something else, then they just like immediately concede to known information, right? Play the 21st land in the main, could be okay. We also have the Surveil lands. Charming Prince is good as Wall too important. Wall is much better than Charming Prince. It blocks better. It actually draws a card. Prince is kind of mid. Well, third affinity opponent of the league. We beat them the first 2 times. Surveillance. Land 3, wow. I'm going to play Satoru here. It's not likely to die in this matchup. We could Subtlety draw a card here. Wall over girls, color requirement everything for Solitude? No, it's look at the deck. We have like 11 non-creatures in the deck. we can't play archaeologist here. Gab, thank you for the raid. If we have any up and coming streamers in the Magic community, if you want the infamous Yellow Hat raid, which is also how I got my start too, was the Yellow Hat raid. Put Soulherder in your deck. Gab is drawn to Soulherder like a moth to flame. Will I be in Texas at the end of the month? Way ahead of you, brother. I'm way ahead. Do you have a testing team you prep other than Moto Arena practice? I have a bunch of goofy friends who I play Magic with sometimes. I will be talking to them, and I don't really have I've been watching a bunch of Ashes streams and then figuring it out from there. Literally what I said. I knew. I woke up this morning, breathed in the air, I'm like, I'm gonna get the Gab raid today. Let's take the coat because it triggers the Satoru. It's been pretty good. I think we have a little bit of a under sideboard plan for creativity, so we're gonna mess with the sideboard in between leagues here. I actually decided to get to Texas for the RC 30 years ahead of time, just in case. Make sure I wasn't late. Bought a house near the site so I could be there on time. I think we're gonna play Force of Negation because you kind of hybrid Tron creativity to hate. The new Flash 2 jumping stuff can make a good, better Soulherder impression. Yeah, I think that card is better than Soulherder. It's obviously legendary, but it's it has 2 toughness base, it has flash, and it's 1 less mana. So yeah, I think it'll be the better card. How good it will be overall is still TBD, of course. Lock it in, yeah. Maybe you can still play like 1 Soulherder. What card is it? It's a Corgi. I don't know the name of the card. It's a legendary 2-mana creature, 1 white, 1 colorless. It has a flash. It's a 2/2. Whenever it attacks, you can flicker a non-land permanent on either side of the field. So that it also like kills construct tokens. It like resets Murktides. Then it gets a counter if it came back to your control on the instep. So it can also, of course, just flicker your own stuff. That card is really good, I think. We want to not surveil first because we could still draw Ephemerate here. Wait, they put Thought Monitor on top? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could slow them down a little bit, maybe. Kind of want to get another white source. I'm going to Surveil, though. What did I say about that white source? I think I'm in a graveyard. Yeah, well, rise again stronger than ever. So we'll see what we draw off the coat. Flooded Strand. Or sorry, we cloak Flooded Strand and then we draw. I think I want to not evoke the Solitude here. Just gonna try to clean up the constructs with it potentially. Didn't find another Subtlety either. That would have been a really nice pickup. So if my opponent can like make multiple constructs here, things could get kind of scary. We've already beaten this matchup twice today, but we did lose a game 1. Okay, so they're gonna have at least 3 constructs here. Maybe actually make sure I can't keep them. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can't keep them off of Affinity. Through Soulherder, we can outgrind anything. If I draw a land, I wonder if I can have the time to just hardcast a Solitude. Ephemerate is like the best draw by a million years. Ah! It's like the best synthesizer game I've ever seen. So we drew another Solitude, so I guess we'll just start off by evoking. Any Ephemerates in the chat? Not yet. Obviously could just evoke again. I also have Aether Spellbomb. Ah, no, there it is. Can't get the Ephemerate from underneath the cloak. So I'm just going to chump block 4 times? Yeah, I guess so. It doesn't really seem like I can win this game without like Ephemerating Solitude, So just try to be able to do that. What's better, black-blue affinity or blue-green? I think blue-green. Like, if the black is mostly for like cranial plating. Ooh, Forging the Anchor is sick. I like this card a lot. I wonder if you could also play, what is that card called? It costs 1 less for each artifact you have. It's blue 4. It's like dig through time for artifacts. They put Citadel Sojourner's Companion in their hand here. I guess maybe do I have to Solitude this? Let me see. So go block, block, block. Maybe I could keep the Stoneforge, like bounce cloak and put it back in. So I could block here and take a big hit. Yeah, Reality Heist. Yeah, I just really don't foresee myself winning this game. Maybe in general, but without ephemerating this Solitude, so let's play to that. I have 3 life points still. I guess maybe this plan isn't even good because they have the Aether Spellbomb up too. And even then, they also just have too big a board. You have to double block. All right. We go through the motions. even if I draw like 2 Ephemerates, I don't think it's enough because of the Aether Spellbomb. Yeah, I was thinking about Pest Control in the sideboard. It's probably too bad to play Pest Control in your Aether Vial deck. Okay, but liking our sideboard plan here. Meltdown coming soon. Yeah, if you want to beat Affinity, you can beat Affinity. This has been true for a long time. Meltdown is a card that matters like 0%. I feel I'm not even sure that card is better than Shattering Spree. I guess it's better in decks that are not as red, but it just doesn't matter. Like There are so many cards that just say, I win the game if I play against Affinity. And I draw this, you know. Urkel's Recall would be nuts. Recall's not as good. Yeah, you can play Kataki too. It's just like, it just doesn't matter, you know. You can win if you want to win. Let's mulligan this, maybe a little slow here. No Aether Vial. This hand has Aether Vial. And Satoru. I think I'm putting back Skyclave. The Solitudes are obviously really important, and I want to be able to do something with my mana turn 2. I'm always going to be vialing in Satoru, so just in casting Stoneforge turn 2. We also are like 2-0 against Affinity today. You know, down a game here the third time, but we're beating it despite not having these like super effective sideboard cards against it. So I don't think we want to like add a Kataki, despite the matchup seeming to be very popular today. You should got Basic Island. I'm just gonna vial this in. I think MH3 will nerf or boost the Affinity deck. Well, boost. I think Kappa Cannoneer is a much bigger buff than Meltdown is a downside, just because it's like you just add Meltdown to the pile of Pest Control, Force of Vigor, Collector Oof, Kataki, Brotherhood In. Like Brotherhood In is better than Meltdown. I think maybe not. I don't know. I've never played with Meltdown. Maybe Meltdown's just gross. But like the end, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on about cards that just win the game against Affinity. So I don't know. I think Meltdown just doesn't matter at all. But also like the thing is, MH3 is gonna be a big buff to the entire modern format. So okay, we'll probably just file this next turn, and then we can activate Coat into play. It's just going to be a big buff to the entire format, so you don't really need to worry too much about it. Do I ever want to copy Ornithopter? I don't think so. But I'm going to go ahead and kill both of their creatures here so that I can stop them from making a second construct. Meltdown sees play in every red deck sideboard Legacy. Legacy is just very different. But again, I'm not saying Meltdown doesn't matter because it's not good. Meltdown is a good card. That's not why Meltdown is irrelevant. Meltdown is irrelevant because there are like literally a dozen cards like this that you can put in your sideboard and win the game against Affinity if you draw. It just doesn't change a single thing about the dynamics of Affinity. They get Shadow Spear. There could not have been a worse card to get here. I think. I cannot imagine this being better than Needle Boots, Aether Spellbomb, Springleaf Drum. We'll see. Can you eat those words? Yeah, Meltdown won't ever kill Cannoneer, that's true. So I'm going to leave this on 2. Vial in the Stoneforge. Stack the triggers so that you search off Stoneforge before you draw off Satoru. I think I'll just go main phase, activate this to put Coat into play, save the white card for Solitude. Hitchkins, 36 months, love you too. Long ass time. Because you're playing Giver. I thought about playing Giver. We have Ephemerate as like protection effect. Giver is kind of like not the highest quality card ever. Yeah, Stoneforge Coat Aegis, like this package just felt really good. I feel really confident that Stoneforge is like super right to pair with Satoru. So I'm gonna tick up the Vial so I can hold up Vial for Tidebinder. Let's also get our Surveil going. Happy enough to just block here. I can also just bounce Coat and like put Coat back into play. Draw a card. Skyclave. Is Skyclave even good here? Not really. Not bad. Not bad either, but it's not a Soulherder. It's not an Ephemerate, which are just like game enders. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this plan of hold up, Solitude pitch, Stoneforge bounce, replay, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. Maybe one of Extraction Specialist. I have a big disdain for Extraction Specialist. I hate that card. So overrated. It's not the worst, but it's just very overrated. Right, GG. Let's do this before they can Aether Spellbomb me. We're even playing around Metallic Rebuke here, huh? A little bit better to get rid of the Thought Monitor first, because they gain one less life on the construct. We're so back. Amalia and Pioneer now playing 3 Extraction Specialists. It's probably raining in Spain, huh? Specialist is a fine Pioneer card. It's pretty shitty in Modern. It's not the worst. You can play it sometimes. The card is going to be good when you return Satoru, and it's going to be bad every single other time that you draw it. So factor that in. I think even returning Stoneforge is not that important in this deck, because like Stoneforge is mostly like what you don't really care if it dies. You don't really care if Stoneforge dies in this deck. You're like, okay, it's dead, but I still have my Cryptic Coat, this is kind of the important card, where I have my Aegis and I have my Oblivion Stone. You don't really care about rebuying this. Yeah, the Band Company deck was so sick. Just say no play. Yeah, sure. Just F6. It's fun to play against Affinity in like this like fair manner. Maybe don't call this fair. Yeah, we played against Affinity 3 times this league. We've won the first 2 matches. Down a game here. I forgot that we have this coming off of Rebound. We could Violin the Soulherder and get the Soulherder like bigger, but the thing is, I think I want to leave up the Skyclave Violin to be better against Nettlecyst / Cranial Plating, but now I've just drawn another Ephemerate and nothing could matter. Maybe I should just get the drum. Let's see what we draw. Okay, we'll just do this because they're dead. Five artifacts right now. The Owl's a Thunder Junction counterspell in the Time Warp deck? I think the card's just way too slow. Could be wrong. Counter the Sky Trigger. I'm also turning this into a destructible Darksteel Relic. Opponent's a fighter. Yeah, it is brutal. And save this Ephemerate, I guess. Opponent decides no attacks. Yeah, still gonna save the Ephemerate, I think. Keep a land. So I think now I'm just gonna Violin the Soulherder here so I can assemble a lot of power and toughness. Okay, and my opponent. That's where they draw the line. They've had enough. Going to game 3. Can we be 3-0 against Affinity here? We can do one more league with this after this one. I think I want to cut the Hearses and the Break the Ice and get 4 Force of Negation on the board. And our sideboard plan against creativity, especially because the John creativity list, they're like Dawnbringer Cleric's kind of good against both builds because against 4 color it kills Binding and Fable, so it's kind of nice there. And against John, it beats their persists and then also gets their Fables. Not amazing, but like it's a very versatile sideboard card that can also come in here for the subtleties and the Skyclaves, which are pretty bad. So like 7 for 7 there. Could play like 1 Break the Ice. Maybe don't need to be that scared of Affinity. We've been playing against Mill today. Yeah, I'm keeping the Emrakul land. We have played against Mill so often lately. The Emrakul, the Emrakul is currently not leaving, just not leaving the sideboard ever. I'm gonna get basic planes here. I think with Skyclave in our hand. Again, if we draw Satoru, we'll just file it in. You still have 4 force mainboard is good if your 4 force mainboard is good if your deck can swing it. Maybe. It kind of depends on what the deck is. Creativity is getting a lot more popular. It's not that bad against Affinity because they have all these Aegises. I don't know about 4, but maybe probably 3. Just kind of I can't really answer without knowing what deck you're playing. So I'm a little bit flooded. Yeah, I think I just have to get the coat. Yeah, I guess we could Cryptic Coat Emrakul into play. We draw a Dawnbringer Cleric. That'd be pretty nice. Satoru would be great. Soulherder would be good. So I can Skyclave the Synthesizer. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Obviously, I could be like a lot more mana efficient and Violeted next turn, but they chose the Synthesizer instead of making a construct. Let's go for it. Yeah, I think that the MH3 dog is better than Soulherder. You could maybe do like a 3-2 split or something because it's legendary. I don't think you necessarily would play 0 Soulherder in a deck like this, but the card is also just like interacts with your opponents and is 2 mana instead of 3 mana. There's just a lot to like about it. So opponent does not make a Saga token there. So I'm gonna make one and then Haywire my Vial. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and then see what the top card of our library is. It's a Satoru. Which means I don't want to shuffle. So we'll blink the Skyclave and go after the Spear, which we'll give them a 3/3 token. New dog seems like it'd be hard to connect with in combat. You don't need it to connect with in combat. It triggers on attack, not on combat damage. And if your opponent has like a good blocker, you can sometimes just exile the blocker. You have your Solitude Skyclave deck. Not that worried about it. The dog also like grows. We'll see. I could be wrong, obviously. How much do you think the fact that it has to attack matters? It matters. It matters. But I think that is underweighed. But the fact that it's 2 toughness and is 2 mana and has flash and can interact with your opponent's stuff are all huge upsides over Soulherder. Soulherder's upsides are that it doesn't have to attack and it gets bigger faster, but it also gets bigger slower because it's 3 mana instead of 2 mana. Yikes. I think we'd jump with the Stoneforge. Hopefully we hit something good off the coat. Gotta play Satoru first. We draw the card off the cloak. Just a Marsh Flats, unfortunately.
So my Soulherder becomes a 4/4, so it can block the token kind of well. Ephemerate's nice if we survive. Surviving will be key here. They have 5 cards in their hand. I don't think it's accurate to say it gets bigger faster, as Herder can get more than 1 counter per turn. I said Soulherder gets bigger fast. I said Herder was the one that gets bigger faster. And then, but Dog is 1 less mana. I gave bigger faster to Soulherder. Solitude? We draw Solitude, we're in good shape. Have several looks at it. Dog is the worst top deck too. So likely gonna have to chump. Gives them a 4/4 also. Anything we could draw besides Solitude? Not really. Okay, so Nettlecyst is very scary against with these flyers. We draw another Skyclave. Yeah, I think I'm just in on Skyclaving the Nettlecyst and hoping to. Well, I guess it's better to Skyclave Midnight Flicker than exile Nettlecyst. Should maybe surveilled first. Gives me an extra look. We're 20 cards deep with no Solitude. Get one more look. Don't think we can get out of this if we don't draw it. But if we do draw it, we get to exile both constructs and gain some life. Okay, I did not draw it. Okay. So 3/2. Did not defeat Affinity all 3 times. Let's figure out what we want to do with the 15 sideboard slot now that we got these 4.